Hello and welcome to week 3 in biopsychology. Here we're going to be looking at the kind of action that's happening at what we call the synapse. So chapter 3, looking at the synapse, where the kind of absolutely amazing process of biochemical electrical stimulation of our nervous system happens. And so in looking at this, the assignments here, there's a discussion and there's a quiz. They relate to things that are happening right here. So this graphic from our course book shows the process by which neurotransmitters are moving from the presynaptic neuron on the left to the postsynaptic receptor neuron on the left. And that little gap, the synapse, the gap in between them, is where those chemicals float across and cause reactions to continue on down the line. Now, medicines that we take impact, often the purpose of medicines that we take are to impact how these neurotransmitters work. The impact of drugs, illicit drugs or recreational drugs, just making it, those are basically, when you kind of think about it, the side of, I won't say arbitrary, but there's a line put between licit drugs and illicit drugs, but they're all drugs. And everything we take has some sort of effect on the processes that happen in our synapses. We take a pain reliever, and it's going to impact the transmission of pain in those neurons to our brain and lower our experience of pain. There are illicit drugs that do the same thing. Now, the interesting thing is that we might take a medicine for pain, but that medicine isn't just distributing itself to pain neurons, it's going everywhere. So it might be affecting the ability for our neurons to transmit pain, but it might also be affecting the neurons that control our stomach movements, and we might get an upset stomach. The side effects, or basically of the main effects, is what do we want it to do with the nervous system or whatever it's doing, and then we have the side effects. Even in medications that are not meant to have a neurological effect, they all do. Everything that we ingest has a neurological effect in some way. And if you look up those medicines, you can discover what those are. Now, so what I'm explaining is when you are doing the discussion for medicines and when you're doing the discussions for drugs, I want you to dive deep, not just how it makes a person feel. I want the neurochemistry. What's happening in the synapse? Is the drug mimicking a neurotransmitter? Is it keeping neurotransmitters in that area? Is it affecting the receptor cells? That's the level of this conversation. I don't want to know the euphoric feeling that someone might feel when they're smoking marijuana. I want to know what's happening in the nerves themselves at the synapse in order to bring about that eventually results in that feeling. So that's the detail I'm looking for in the discussions and in the quiz. So enjoy this exploration of the smallest level of biology that we look at when we're studying biopsychology. So I will see you in the discussions. Have a great week.